Hello and welcome back to the PLP. I've completely messed up the audio at the start of this highlights reel, so you'll find us here at White Hart Lane, ready for a Carabao Cup semi-final, second leg. Just a quick highlights reel today. 3 games, this being the absolute headline act, and then a couple of National League Prem matches as well. To be honest, you'd probably rather it jumping in like this rather than hearing all my boring preamble. But here we see Lawrence needs to overturn a 2-1 deficit from the first leg, almost 3-1. Despite that, looking like a few changes for the home team. Immediately standing out is Freddie Canute, and it is 3-1 to Chase back now. Both teams have had pretty good seasons up to now, but it is the home team that are carrying form into this match. I think with only 1 goal in it and home advantage, he would have fancied his chances, but it's a bit of a mountain to climb now. Here's Sakura, Lamella, Regulon. None of those are regulars. And either is Amadou Onana in the other goal, for obvious reasons. And it is game on. The winner, we know, will face perennial cup overachiever Dan City Y in the final. He overcame a 2-1 deficit himself, actually, thrashed Foyverton in the second leg to secure another Wembley appearance. That final coming up in around about a month's time, I think. It's a bit bizarre that White Hart Chamberlain haven't thrown on Isaac. Presumably not in the squad today if they're choosing between Canute and Mido. Rare appearance for Nabil Bentaleb as well. Clearly not prioritising the Carabao Cup amid their League 2 promotion hunt. If anything, it's the Red Wall looking the most likely to score. For either, it would be a first cup final berth. Dyer, marauding. Oh, Onana, what have you done? They say FM isn't realistic. That is unbelievable. Apart from the Eric Dyer, Gallivant down the right hand side, of course. But my goodness. Sorry, Tom, I shouldn't laugh. Presume it's extra time and not straight to pens. Or maybe none of the above. Gonna test Amadou again. Oh my goodness, how has he missed that? Fantastic block from Lindelof. Clinging on. 2-1 in the first leg, 2-1 in the second leg. We're heading into extra time. Surprised we haven't seen more of Calafiori. He's just come on for the extra 30, along with Big Steve Bruce. Very bizarre team for Hart Chamberlain now. Michael Dawson, as much of a Spurs legend he is, haven't really seen much of him. Reto Ziegler, only 19 in the database again. Jesus, what is Onana doing? It's like his body's inside out. Back to front, one of the two. Maybe I accidentally created him with his head the wrong way. I think I speak for everyone when we want pens, don't we? Let's be honest. There we go. And with Onana in goal, I'm sure Tom Whall is sitting pretty confidently right now. Bruno barely let Loris get back into the goal. Is it 0 to hero? Not yet. Some pretty epic penalty takers for the Red Wall. I apologise again. Berbatov against Tottenham. And the teenager Ziegler fucks it as well. Oh my god, they're all shitting their pants. Lamella included. These are awful pens all of a sudden. What can Cobby do? That's more like it. Foot through it. All the pressure now on. It's going to be Eric Dyer. Mido! Walking like an Egyptian up to the spot. And burying it. Sudden death. What a great start to the highlights for Real tonight. Pressure back on. Pedro. We're down to defenders. Lissandro. Just about. Jan Vertonghen. Best penalty of the lot. There we go. Stevie Bruce. Recognisable grey hair. Eric Dyer, I'm pretty sure he's buried some penalties in his time. Surprised he's as far down as this. Penalty 9. Still going. I thought Lloris was stepping up then. Oh! I thought he saved it. Pen 10. Coming up to 10 minutes for the highlights of this game alone. Michael Dawson, the last one to step up. It would be cruel for the Spurs man. But we're down to the keepers, I think. Here we go. Onana. He's going to probably shoot the other way. There we go. Back to the start. Looked like Lloris couldn't remember what foot he was before that. But we're back to Bruno. This could be a long, long night. Oh, it's Nabil Bentaleb, a rare outing and the villain of the piece. Well done, Tom. Red Wall into the Carabao Cup final, where they will face Dan City Y. Commiserations to Lawrence, if he's still awake after that marathon match. Still some hefty ambitions in the league to look forward to. Right, after all that, 11 minutes later, we're down in the National League Prem. Usually I try and avoid games against these 2024 teams, Stoke in this case, because they're not actually comprised of players in the PLP database. They were basically used to populate the National League North and South. But obviously after season 1, some got promoted, and Stoke were one of those some. Gourlayverpool, you'd pretty much expect to coast through this game. Still going pretty well. Automatic promotion looking unlikely, I'd say, but playoffs, without putting a curse on it, you'd say it's pretty much in the bag. Obviously Maresca thinks so as well. It's quite a changed team for Tom Gourlay's boys. Maitland-Niles, one of the players to come in, not a regular starter you'd say, usually comes off the bench. Into the team on the score sheet though. Gourlay's still going well in the FA Cup as well. He's got a nice fixture in the 4th round coming up at the weekend. Just checking who that actually is against. It's at home to Tottenham B, so definite chance of making it into the 5th round. Antoine Semenyo, I didn't realise he had him. My vigilance knows no bounds. But yeah, he's obviously a player that's likely to get an upgrade at the end of this season. So very handy, proactive draft pick last summer. Somehow still only 1-0. Largely thanks to the woodwork. Not a single shot, well, shot on target from Stoke. Of course, with FM, it does like to have a laugh with these kind of situations. Oh, and there you go, Exhibit A. Craig Gordon coming in for Kelleher today. Didn't really expect him to have to pick the ball out of the net. A moment of madness from the aforementioned Semenyo. And it's 2 points dropped. And the final game this evening, another home match for one of us drafters, this time Marshy, up against Newcastle D, who are a legitimate team with legitimate database players. That being said, in a bit of a relegation battle, it would seem, Marshy, meanwhile, has now got one eye, probably more than one eye, on that one lone automatic spot. A few drop points in recent weeks from OTB Craig has opened the door. And actually, if Marshy wins this as his game in hand, he goes within 3. It's a debut for MATTch, who's been injured since he arrived, or ill, I think. And a nice return to right back for Yapstam. What on earth's happened here? I'm sure who the set piece coach is. Might be Marshy himself. Just send everyone forward. There he is. No VAR in the Vanarama. Oh, what a shot. This is first of 2 live games for Marshy this week, actually. He's also in the FA Cup 4th round. Been picked out for a featured game at home to Watford A at the weekend as well. Not much transfer movement in general. January is pretty much consistent with real life. Everyone keeping their powder dry for the summer. Other than MATTch, who was a waiver pickup. Slight murmurings about whether Schweinsteiger might be on the move, but I don't think so. Obviously, as a Newcastle fan, just taking a quick look down there. I had Mikel Merino last year, but he just didn't really get any game time, so I cashed in on him. Always a pleasure. This result will catch the attention of Craig Trudgell and his OTB Craig team. For so long, he was 21 games unbeaten in the league. For so long, looked that was a formality. But on paper, Marshy probably would have been the favourites for the NLP title, having finished 23rd in League 2 last year. OTB Craig being a newbie, with, in theory, a lesser calibre of players to draft. And without cursing yet another team, it looks a bit of a formality to see out another good win for Marshy. He's been in very good form recently. Scrape through games, it's not usually been emphatic, although this one has tipped into that category. But on the whole, he's been proving very difficult to beat, which I suppose is the hallmark of a Mourinho team. Nicely done. This highlights reel is going to be taking us above 20 or 21 minutes or so for 3 games. Slightly ridiculous, but that is of course because of the mammoth penalty shootout from earlier. So there you can see Marshy has now caught up in appearances and is getting closer to that points total as well. Despite losing 4 compared to Craig's 1, drawn fewer, won the same amount, 3 points difference, a bit of goal difference to make up. But it's definitely not a foregone conclusion as it looked a few weeks ago. The only other thing to note there is the team in 9th, Manchester, who, if you didn't notice, had Amorim sacked, JP McManus, the owner, finally lost patience, forcing drafter Liam into a replacement, and he's picked David Moyes, making it very clear that Moyes has got until the end of this season to impress him, and then he'll decide whether or not to chop and change it again in the summer. And that's all for this evening. Congratulations again to Tom Whall on his Carabao Cup final qualification.